What up, yo?
A ghost.
A ghost.
Hey, what's up? All right. Sweet. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast, a show that just takes a look at pop culture every now and then, see what's happening, see what chaos is rolling on in, make comments, whether it's good, bad, ugly, spiritual. We just hang out and have a good time. We try to, at least. But checking here real quick. Everything is live. We are on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, X, and Locals. So doing that multi-streaming with Rumble Studios. So really fun. Check me out over there. Make sure to smash the subscribe and like button on the appropriate platforms. And you can also check my other social media in the descriptions. Listed in the descriptions. Or you can find it on my link tree if you are on X. But hope everyone had a good week up until now. I know I did for the most part. Just some annoying stuff here and there, but thus is life. Thus is life. I'm going to turn down my mic here just a little bit. There we go. So we're not coming in hot. Coming in hot, you heard me. There. Okay. Hopefully that'll be, looks like it sounds a lot better. Cool. Yeah, I have some stuff that I'm interested in talking about here. Mostly some Assassin's Creed news. Apparently they're doing a bunch of remakes of the OG series. And supposedly it looks like they are going to upgrade them for modern audience. So we all know that that's like the death sentence. The kiss of death whenever they declare that it's being made for modern audience. Also have some interesting information about Square Enix shareholders. I guess apparently someone expressed their interest or is curious about the involvement with Sweet Baby Inc. So we'll look into that. Of course, more Star Wars, the Acolyte stuff, and interesting comment about apparently a Konami producer says that it'd be nice to have Kojima come back to help work on the Metal Gear Solid series. So, very cool, very interesting. I think that'll be fun to look into. So why don't we go ahead and get started here? But I have one here that it should be no shocker. And that is from that Park Place. Gamescom admits gay producer pushed queer agenda into video games with The Sims. Now, this is no surprising. This honestly should be a no shocker. Like, out of all the games to really push that agenda, of course it would be The Sims. So, Gamescom, a video game trade fair held in, is that really Cologne, Germany, if I'm pronouncing it right? Every year admitted, a video game fair held in Germany every year, admitted that gay producer John Faccion pushed the queer agenda, into video games with The Sims. Of course. Gamescom posted on X a thread aimed at celebrating disordered lifestyles and highlighting a number of people pushing the queer agenda in video games. And it's not just the queer agenda. It's a bunch of other stuff too. You know, your woke ideology in general. We can just use that as an umbrella term. The company posted Prime Month is almost over. But you'll find another reason to celebrate. Got to make it, 365 days, apparently. But that doesn't mean that queer matters will stop being important. See? What did I tell you? Today we want to introduce just a few of the many talented queer people that are an integral part of the gaming industry. Who cares? Who cares? I don't give a shit if you're gay or not. Like, if you're making a good game, just make the damn game. But this is where, like, again, it's... If all you can say is, I attribute it to video games because I'm gay, like, that's the most pathetic excuse ever. For anybody. Anybody who says that. Because it should be video games first, whoever you are second. Because your focus should be on the game. Not, well, we don't have enough gay people in the game, so we need to balance that out here. Which would actually make you the bigot. Because you're viewing everything, apparently, through a gender lens. Which is inherently bigoted or racist or sexist or what have you. And this is what these people do. Again, I've said this before. They project this onto other people, saying you guys are the bigots and stuff because you're not making it to where this topic or this specific group of people are being represented fairly and stuff like that. It's like the reason people don't do that is because that literally makes you a racist and a bigot. Or a xenophobe or whatever, whatever bullshit they always pull out. Because I don't look at life through that lens. Because I only care about people's merit, Or if you just bother me. Because if you bother me and keep bashing it over the head, I get annoyed after a while and I leave, It's one thing if it's like a part of the story. But if you're doing it just because we need to do it, it needs to be... shown more. Well, make your own damn game and hope that it sells. Because I got a sneaking suspicion it wouldn't. Anyway, because whether you want to believe it or not, gaming and being queer can go hand in hand just fine. Look at this, the delusion of these people. No one gives a shit back in the day. No one gave a shit back in the day if you were playing a video game and you were gay or not. No one cares. The problem is that these people hijack the industry and are taking the established franchises with, established relationships or what have you, white people, and said, no, we need to change this so that it's a black person or whoever is the main character and they need to be gay and something like that because that's what it needs. And it's like, well, then go make your own damn game about that if you're so upset about it. Stop destroying already established franchises. This was made 6 a.m. today. And during that time, it only has 50 likes. So at the end of its thread, it highlighted John Facien, I guess. Or whatever. The company wrote, and last but not least, John Facien, who has more or less on purpose paved the way for queer characters in video games with his work on The Sims. Okay. Specifically, John pushed transgender ideology into The Sims 4 that allows players to assign pronouns to Sims. In a blog post that appears to be deleted from EA's website, he explained the introduction of customizable pronouns. See, this is kind of like the thing where the whole, Starfield thing, where people got mad about the pronouns. And then people who tried to say it's not a big deal, it's not a super integral part of the story or a default that, if you pick a man, it'll use he, him, and all that stuff. And you just go, oh, if it's not that big of a deal, then why is it in there to begin with? And then people try to put out like, well, Pokemon, you picked between a boy and a girl. It's like, yeah, because that portion of the game is based in reality. This is not based in reality. This is catering to mental illness, to delusions. So he detailed EA came to include the evil ideology into the game. First, we started looking into the game itself to see how we could approach the addition of customizable pronouns. Look, what did I just say? Right there. What did I just say? Ideology first, game second. Should be the other way around. Should be the other way around, but it's not. Because they don't care. They never cared about games to begin with. Should be the other way around, but it's not. We went through a couple of different explorations, but ultimately where we landed was to create a system that allows for pronouns to be defined by the player, have those then be used in multiple different text strings. This was achieved through creation of new tokens. Oh, that's a racist comment right there. What do you mean by tokens? Remember that article we read about, coding lingo needs to be updated because, it's uses a lot of terms that are inherently racist. Well, this guy's a douchebag, according to that article. Using the word tokens, unbelievable. Or bits of text that are reused that support custom input from players. Next, he detailed how the company worked with the number of radical activist organizations such as GLAAD to introduce the feature. See, again, there you go. Video games second, have to ideology first, and then have to reach out to activists to get approved. We reached out to our partners It Gets Better project and GLAAD and worked with them to learn more about how pronouns are used, particularly by trans and non-binary people. Well, you just make them up because that's what they do. Through this research and through doing a deep dive into the game, we've learned about all of the different complex areas that binary gender was present in The Sims 4. Holy moly. I'm surprised the game just doesn't crash every time you upload it because so many stuff gets added onto the Rolodex of the trans and non-binary vocabulary that it's insane. He went on to describe this new feature pushing this evil ideology as, quote, a step in the right direction of a more inclusive experience for Simmers. In an interview with Queerty about this change, John admitted that he and his team has been actively pushing the queer and transgender from within the company. There you go. Said, like Phil said, we've been thinking about this for a very long time. It's been very near. I X'd a doubt on that one. When was this guy hired? Let's take a look. Dude, I can't even find like any information about this guy. Well, that LinkedIn, apparently the post is gone. He's the associate producer, but when did he become the associate producer? Associate producer. How am I unable to find out anything about this person? Which just goes to show that, he's not that important to look up in terms of like him popping up right when I type in his name and stuff, then. Yeah, dude, all I'm seeing, that Park Place, good job on Google. You're like third. Dude, I can't find any information about this guy. Oh, wait. Here we go. Apparently, this is his own personal website. He's been a video game producer for 8 years of production experience, spanning across mobile, console, PC, and browser-based games. I am currently a producer at Max. Is this the right person, though? His website's very, very dated, as in 2021, and has next to nothing. Blog is available on LinkedIn if this is the right person. See, I'm not seeing anything about like The Sims, at least on this website. Like oh my gosh, am I just gonna have to type in The Sims 4 and then just, I'll even use old Wikipedia on their end. This guy isn't even listed on Wikipedia. So who is this person and why should we care? Whatever. Anyway, it's been very near and dear to a lot of us. Again, how much is a lot, especially those who are members of the LGBTQIA plus community. Look at that. Didn't we read another article to where they didn't even tack on the QIA plus? And then I'm sure there's more stuff. But this time around, we are seeing not only internally us advocating for this, but we also see players. How many people are internally advocating for this? Sure, a lot of people kept their mouths shut because if they rose anything up, you guys would be running to HR, demanding that they get fired for not being inclusive or whatever. But we also saw players saying that on Twitter and social media. We really felt like it was time for us to be upfront about it and put our best foot forward and start talking with the community about why they'd like to, what they'd like to see. Later in the interview, he asserted visibility and representation matters. So make a game, your own game based on that then. Big thing that helped me actually come out as a gay man was seeing more representation. Oh, you pussy. Dude, it's 2024. No one gives a crap that you're gay. No one cares. Oh my gosh. Not just film, television, but also on games as well. Dude, if you had to resort to film, television, video games to find your sense of worth in this world, like, you're looking in the wrong area. The whole point of those is to be entertained and get away from it. Like, look at, like, the delusion. The delusion. And the article already stated, his own quotes already stated his true intention. There's not enough of me shown in films, television. So I just hope that we're able to provide that through this feature for some folks who may not be in a place or situation where they're comfortable doing that outside of the game. So you want them just to be trapped inside of a false reality and then eventually become comfortable doing that in the real world. But that's the thing, though. They don't want to be in the real world because if they did, they would respect other, I guess you could, I don't even like using the word respect, but if they did, they wouldn't be going around demanding that you have to accommodate to these specific things about me so I feel like I can fit in. The world doesn't care about you. The world doesn't actually care a lot about people. Hate to say it. Satan does not care about humanity, and he is more than happy to destroy it in many, many various ways. So in her interview with The Garden, John made it abundantly clear that he was pushing the gay agenda not only into the games he's making, but in the people who make them. He said, I'm an openly gay man working in the games industry. So what? Who gives a shit? Who cares? So for me, I have vested interest in greater inclusion, not just in the games we play, but in those who make the games. I have an invested interest in just making a good game. And who makes it, whether they're gay or straight, black or white, trans or not trans or whatever, really doesn't matter to me. I just want a good game. But when you go, hey, the story that you wrote, that you put all your heart and soul into there, yeah, there's not enough representation. Get the fuck out. Leave. Make your own damn game. Again, this is what these people do. They'll learn how to destroy it, not to build it. They want to destroy it. And then they hide behind, it's for representation, it's for inclusion. But then you go, well, then make your own game then. Make your own sim type game that's really focused on that. See how much it sells. Just don't come crying to us when it fails and flops. And he's pulling the I'm an openly gay man tactic. You'll find people that do this so that by establishing that right away in the beginning, it creates a false sense of security to them in terms of, like, I like to call it the sword and shield tactic. A sword in terms of attacking other people, because then they can just, use the old and worn out, well, you're a homophobe, you're this, you're that, XYZ. But then also at the same time, use that as a shield to avoid criticism and whatnot, because then they can also project, oh, well, you're just XYZ. It's the oldest method ever. And it gets tiring after a while. And nowadays it honestly doesn't work anymore, because a lot of people says, who cares? It is an art form that speaks to a lot of different people and backgrounds, and the more we include all those people, the better it is. Sometimes it's best to not try to fix something that isn't broken, or just make a new creation. Again, no one's stopping you. No one's stopping you from trying to build up your own game. Go out and make it. The question is, do you want to put in the time and effort? Apparently this guy did, because he learned, if the website I found is actually his, he learned coding and whatnot. So why did you need to go to The Sims to do it? Why didn't you just make your own sim type game? Big reason that I felt comfortable to come out when I did, even though I have a wonderful, supportive, loving family. See, look at this. You're saying that you have all this support, but it's not enough, because it never will be enough to these people. Not like gay people. I'm talking about the woke people in general. There's gay people in there. We all know that. Knowing that there were other people out there like me. Or wait, even though I have a big reason that he felt comfortable to come out when he had all the support and all that was seeing representation of gay men within game. See, look at this. It is not enough for them to feel comfortable with themselves. People have to conform to them in order for them to feel comfortable. It's so stupid, especially nowadays, because nobody cares. Nobody cares. It doesn't make you any more special. It's like a chef using specific ingredients to make their version of a whatever, like a food or a pastry or a cake or something. And then, people like this come in and say, well, did you use this recipe? And it's like, this little ingredient? It's like, no. It's like, why? But, it was made by a gay person. It's like, who cares? It's the same damn, it's like who cares? What makes it even more special because a gay person was behind making the ingredient or something like that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Probably a bad analogy on my part, but hopefully you guys get what I'm talking about. The point is that you're not any more special than anybody else, Seeing people in the media and games living their truths, there it is again. This for me is something that I personally just don't like, because the world is trying to convince people that everyone has their version of truth. There's only the one truth, and it's scripture. And it's been given to us. It's just people don't want to listen to it. And if you studied it enough, you can learn. You can learn that it's the truth, but they don't want to. To help inspire me to become more comfortable with who I am. In fact, Ring, who is also gay, informed The Guardian that he was actively attempting to indoctrinate gamers into the gay lifestyles. Oh, I don't think that's your job to be trying to indoctrinate gamers. I think you should just make a good game. Move on. So the next generation can see this representation. They don't have to have the same experience that others may have had growing up. Oh, you got bullied? oh, everyone's been bullied, but you're extra special because you're gay. You know, it's almost amazing when you don't cater to a specific group and how everyone can be equally insulted, that it kind of loses a lot of its power and stuff like that. Now, of course, there's always going to be extremists in the world. You just mock them too. Decades ago, there wasn't a lot that you could see in the gaming space or even in media in general that felt like that was your identity. See, once again, the world wasn't revolving around me, and I'm seeing it in everything that I look at. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make that representation be seen more active so that I can feel better with myself at the end. Jeez. Go see God. Find Christ, brah. Now you can see more of it, and it's really important. I'm hopeful that the industry can start to take on this challenge. According to his LinkedIn, here's a link. I thought I tried looking this up, and I didn't see anything. Here he is. Former EA and former Capcom. Senior video game producer. But when did he start, though? That's the question. Apparently, we have one mutual group. But when did he start? Like, when did he infiltrate The Sims? Probably shouldn't show my personal messages, but it's not like there's anything worth value or anything you can snag out of there. What do I even have there? A lot of happy birthdays and how am I doing? Okay, good enough. I'm trying to see, again, I'm trying to find view. I'm not getting like any more information about like when he. So look at this. So 16 to 18. So only 2 years. He was associate producer of the production management team in Capcom. Oh boy, localization. That's not good. Here, we'll look at all his experience. So he's been at Netflix for 1 year, 10 months. EA full-time, 4 years. Okay, EA, here we go. So only 4 years. So from February 2021, it looks like is when he started there. So look at that. Look at that, folks. Those dates are exactly when the Orange Man came into play. And he's trying to pass it off that he's always cared about this. That he's cared about representation in the video game industry. X'd out. He no longer works at EA and Maxis, but has moved on to Netflix, where he's been a senior producer for about 9 months. He was previously just a producer beginning. And what do I think of Gamescom admitting that John was using The Sims to push the gay agenda? Again, not surprised. Again, it's always ideology first and video game second to this people. And then we literally just looked at his years of when he's being active. And it's right around the time the Orange Bad Man came in and everything was going to go haywire and shit and all that stuff. So enough was enough. And these people are praising him. Ridiculous. Whatever, I don't really care about The Sims. What's up, Loki? So Square Enix shareholder presses company president on relationships with the Sweet Baby Inc. Receives non-answer in return. So a recent Square Enix investor meeting reportedly saw a shareholder directly press the company on their relationship with notorious video game diversity consultant agency Sweet Baby Inc. This event was first brought to public attention courtesy of one of the meeting's apparent attendees, Mitch Suzu, Japanese blogger and YouTuber, specializes in analyzing entertainment data ranging from the sale figures of video games to the rise in popularity of VTubers. Oh gosh, there's that first spoken, I guess. According to the self-described shareholder meeting enthusiast, as written in their X profile page in machine translated via Google Translate, this is from Bounding into Comics, by the way, the shareholder Q&A portion of the meeting saw current Square Enix president, Takashi Kiryu, pressed on a number of hard topics, including whether the lack of new info on the Dragon's Quest 11 contributed to recent losses, what their future sales targets looked like, and how they plan to protect their copyright works from being scrapped from AI generation tools. So among these topics was the company's current relationship with Sweet Baby Inc., to which a shareholder reportedly asked, "I'm personally happy about the shift from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company Sweet Baby Inc. Square Enix is listed as a client. But is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future?" So in response, President Kiryu declined to answer the question directly, instead deflecting by assuring the shareholder of Square Enix's own future. "I would like to refrain from making specific comments about individual clients," said Kiryu, per Mitsuzu. "As we shift from quantity to quality, providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers is also part of what makes a product fun. We will do our best as creators." What is this open-ended statement of enjoyable and safe? What do you need to make safe about it? Like, obviously, we're seeing a lot of the warnings for, like, this game has parts where there's flashes on the screen. So, watch out for epileptic seizures and all that stuff. Like, that I understand. That I understand. But, like, other than that, like what? Like, what the content of what we're seeing? I mean, I guess you could say that's what the rating system is for. But even then, it's my responsibility because I'm an adult. I'll know what I want to consume. And if not, then it should be the parent's responsibility. From there, the shareholder meeting concluded with the passing of 3 new corporate proposals and the introduction of Square Enix's new directors. While safe could mean a game that is a safe bet for investors, in this context, it seems far more... See, I'm not the only one that's like, what do you mean by... I mean, I said enjoyable. No, I was right. I didn't say enjoyable and safe. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? In this context, it seems far more likely it means a game that does not offend any socio-political sensibilities. Yeah. Safe games are partly the reason Sweet Baby Inc. and Square Enix efforts at DEI have been so low. Rather than simply avoid offense surrounding a given subject, DEI demands that said subject instead be presented as particularly special, often unrealistically so. And also, might I add, just kills whatever it is it's trying to do. By the way, you looked at me again. It's because my chat's over. It's because I'm looking at all my different chats over there. So, gonna have to deal with it there. Combine this sentiment with poor writing and what usually results in characters and stories that feel like a soapbox rather than entertainment. And when the gameplay also turns out to be bad, as seen in Sweet Baby Inc. influence Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, can be hard not to imagine that the money and time spent by studios on the consultation studio efforts would have been better spent on improving their quality, their actual products. Yes, and that's what gamers have been saying forever, that you don't need these consultation. Hell, you don't even need to make everything like motion capture either if you wanted to. Not everything needs to be super hyper realistic. Like that one guy from Final Fantasy VII getting super close to kissing Cloud there. Sadly, as players know, Square Enix has made a concerted effort in recent years to sand the edges off their various titles in order to boost the sales among Western audiences. The results have which include the censoring of Tifa Lockhart's outfit in Final Fantasy VII Remake, and Rebirth, the addition of non-binary gender options to Harvestella, never heard of that one, and the softening of slavery-related dialogue in Final Fantasy, what is that, 16? Nonetheless, there are signs Square Enix isn't entirely beholden to DEI. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I still haven't played, that featured beachwear for Tifa and Aerith, while joking about the male character's understandable reaction, and Mana series producer Masaru Oyamada, in an April interview, made clear his belief that it's best to deliver a game based on the developer's creative visions. Yes. Oh, and that's just how the article ends. Well, there you go. There you go. Providing content that is enjoyable, safe for our customers, is also part of what makes a product fun. That is why you fail. This means Square is still working with SBI. They are still listed as their client, but they work with more than one console company. It was Hit Detection, the company that uglified Silent Hill. Oh, man. That's going to suck. Well, there you go. One guy was like, yeah, I'm kind of concerned about this Sweet Baby Inc. thing that's happening. So at least they're bringing it up. You know, they're bringing more awareness that, like, gamers actually don't like this, you know? They aren't happy. Well, there was that with Square Enix here. So, again, another Bounding into Comics article here. The Acolyte showrunner Leslie Headland says Sith Lord's smile helmet is, quote, meant to be really unsettling to the Jedi. This isn't unsettling. It's laughable. Because it literally makes you think of the Gimp mask from Pulp Fiction. Or it's from that one anime that is slipping my mind. I want to say Chainsaw Man, but I'm not sure if that's correct. Kind of close, but there's like another anime that I'm thinking about that literally like kind of has that like smile one. What is it like when it's it's like that vampire one or something? It's gonna bother the crap out of me. Tokyo Ghoul, yes. Tokyo Ghoul. It looks like she saw Tokyo Ghoul and like, that's a pretty popular anime, right? And it's like, sure. It's like, well, we'll just copy that, you know? I'm not saying that's what you did, but I wouldn't be surprised, by the way. Anywho, smile. I just like how, good job. See, that's how you should start an article Bounding into Comics. Do more of this. According to the series showrunner, Leslie, the toothy grin emblazoned across the helmet of the Acolyte's resident Sith Lord is not intended to be hilarious. Oh, but dude, we're seeing the quality falling here, folks, with like these series shows here. That doesn't make any sense. These franchise series, like the Ring of Power. What was that other one that failed miserably? It was like with, I don't remember. Just goes to show how much like these are failing really bad. Like that, Star Wars, even your Marvel series is getting bad with the costumes. So it's not meant to be hilarious, but rather a genuinely fear-inducing feature of his overall appearance. Dude, this is not fear-inducing. And for heaven's sakes, you did not need to make a helmet thing. It's like they're trying to recreate Darth Vader's, iconic helmet. You have that, and then Kylo Ren's helmet, and now this. Gosh. Headland provided this insight into the Stranger's costuming while speaking to Entertainment Weekly alongside the Acolyte's main cast following the premiere of its 5th episode, Night. So addressing the episode's twist, which most viewers could see coming from a million miles away, that May's master is none other than her smuggler ally, Kemir. Headland told the outlet's Dalton Ross, I think a good twist is not... Oh, yeah, I remember her saying this. Good twist is not about hiding everything from the audience and then throwing it at them like, hey, this is what you didn't see. We hit it so well. You didn't see this. I think a good twist is telegraphing what's going to happen, and then once it does, executing it without any ounce of pity or sentimentally. Wow, that's a very good way to saying, hey, we didn't really exactly think ahead about the story and stuff, so if I just make up this bullshit excuse, maybe people will believe it. So to this end, the showrunner then revealed that when it came to casting the Stranger's current actor, The Good Place's Manny Jacinto, immediately came up for me as the perfect person to do this. I watched 9 Perfect Strangers during the... This doesn't explain the helmet, though. So she watched 9 Perfect Strangers during the pandemic. When he came up, she was like, oh, who is that guy? How do I know him? Then I was like, oh my God, that's Manny Jacinto. What the fuck? So seeing that dichotomy of him being able to do 2 ends of the spectrum, I felt a lot of confidence in him. Later on in the interview, Jacinto himself would admit that when it came to the Stranger's visual design, he and Headland wanted a character that was not just oppressive and powerful, but when you see him, you feel disturbed about him. Dude, no one feels disturbed about him. This is not intimidating. And you don't need a mask in order to do it as well. Maybe I should start like a fan comic of Star Wars or something. Show these people how it's done, you know? I don't know how that would work, but somehow make it to where it's in the Star Wars universe, but not without avoiding any copyright, whatever. So jumping off of Jacinto's explanation, Headland further detailed that the Stranger's helmet's not that different from a classic Star Wars villain, but the grin is like the smile that lasts too long and was meant to be really unsettling to the Jedi. It's not that they're afraid of him, it's that they find him unsettling, she clarified. Even his intro when he floats down at the end of episode 4, we shot that in reverse because we just wanted the audience to be like, what is this? So you did a cheap special effect. Oh my gosh. That's like basic tricks that you learn in film school back in the day. That's like what... Not super insulting James here, but that's what the angry video game nerd does a lot of times. When he needs something, like pulling a controller that's wrapped around him, you just reverse the shot. Closing out their discussion of the Sith Lords specifically, Jacinto ultimately revealed that his line at the close of the episode, what extraordinary beings we are, even in the revelation of our triumph, we see the depth of our despair, was, in his opinion, essentially our introduction into the third act. What a mediocre line. It's basically summing up. I understand that, but I feel like he should have said it's basically summarizing up everything that you thought you knew in these first episodes. He reasoned, now we're going into a completely different territory. Now it's a different world because of this fucking mask. This mask has a creepy smile. Now we're in a different world that we're going to introduce to you. And not just a new story, but new motivations for all the different characters. It's like having a character being sucked into Silent Hill, and then the character's walking along, and then maybe there's like a semi-creepy thing there, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, you're in Silent Hill. You know, it's like, where's the weird fog? Where's like the road being cut off and stuff? Where's the creepy music? Where's more than just a mask? Like, where's the creepy monsters? Where's the iconic Silent Hill bell ringing in the distance and then seeing it fade away? God, just, like, this is all just an excuse to cover up of very terrible writing, very terrible reasoning. and just overall not understanding the series. And this is coming from someone who's like, I've seen 1 through 6, and I guess 7 and 8, not 9, and then stopped because I didn't care. And I'm not even super deep into the lore. So May's mission is set to continue with the Acolyte's next episode on June 29th, which is tomorrow. Well, there you guys go. That sounds like garbage. Greg, you don't understand. The new generation of gamers are softer than rice paper, and they have to be coddled like 2-year-old children. They don't need to be coddled. 2, they need to learn about reality as quick as possible. No, but the thing is they're catering to a specific group of people that are weak-spirited and overall mentally challenged in terms of like a mental disorder. Who really, once again, they need to go with Christ is what they need to do. Alrighty, so one of the main topics I wanted to talk about here is apparently there's going to be multiple Assassin's Creed remakes planned, says Ubisoft CEO, and then supposedly those remakes are going to be upgraded for modern audience. DOA, Dead on Arrival. Hope you're ready for a lot more Assassin's Creed, but because Ubisoft confirms there's not just one. Artards? Yes, they are artards. They are retards. The otaku paradise. So, coming from Niche Gamer, I hope you're ready for a lot more Assassin's Creed because Ubisoft confirmed there's not just one, but multiple Assassin's Creed remakes planned at the company. The news comes from Ubisoft CEO, Yves Guillemont, however you pronounce it, in a new interview posting on the Ubisoft blog today, confirming multiple Assassin's Creed remakes are coming. Ezio. They're going to do our boy Ezio dirty. I have a feeling. Players can be excited about some remakes, which will allow us to revisit some of the games we've created in the past and modernize them. Uh-oh. There you go. Oh, brother. It is like being hit in the crotch with a rocket. There are worlds in some of our older Assassin's Creed games that are still extremely rich, Yilvez said. The CEO also teased that fans can expect a variety of Assassin's Creed games moving forward, like their recent title, Assassin's Creed Mirage and Assassin's Creed Shadows. There will be plenty of experience variety. He said the goal is to have an Assassin's Creed game come out more regularly, but not for it to be the same experience every year. What? Literally, Assassin's Creed is all about sneaking around, stabbing people with your hidden blades, and following the story. Is it still with the Templars and the other guys? The Assassins, I guess, because it is Assassin's Creed. There are a lot of good things to come, including Assassin's Creed Hex, which we've announced, which is going to be a very different game from Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're going to surprise people, I think. Well, the way you surprise them with Shadows, I'm sure they're going to be surprised too. And I will bet money. And by money, I mean, like, I don't know, max $5. That they're probably going to redo people and not have everyone be white. Guarantee you something like I guarantee or would not be surprised if that becomes the case. So that part place also covered the Assassin's Creed remakes, pointing out the fact that he did specifically say they will modernize them. Not only will they be remaking them, but they will be modernizing them too. This is, again, from that Park Place. So, again, in an interview posted to the Ubisoft's website or the blog, He was asked, on the Assassin's Creed front, we've had Mirage, which was a leaner homage to the series' roots, and now Shadows, which is much larger in scope and more in the vein of Odyssey Valhalla. Looking at the future, can we expect this continued variety, smaller games alongside bigger ones? He responded, firstly, players can be excited about some remakes, which will allow us to revisit some of the games some of the games we've created in the past and modernize them. There are worlds in some of our older Assassin's Creed games that are extremely rich. Translation. I think we can find a POC in this world, and we're going to replace the main character we established and insert him instead. Again, will not be surprised. When I heard the acronym DOA, it made me think of Dead or Alive, another game franchise that was murdered by appeasing everybody. That game used to be boobs and butts. Now it's grifty and serious. Yep. Dead on Arrival. If they're RPG, this will be a disaster. They don't need to be remade. They are masterpieces already. But they got to cater to that modern audience, brah. Just got to cater to them. So, and then again, kind of what we read on the Niche Gamer article, he elaborated there are a lot of good things to come, including Assassin's Creed Hex, which we've announced, which is going to be a very different game from Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're going to surprise people, I think. So, Assassin's Creed Hex was announced back in 2022 during an Ubisoft Forward. Why is this like the first time I've heard this? The brief teaser trailer showed the assassin symbol made out of a bunch of branches hanging in the dark, gloomy, creepy, and grim forest. Ubisoft's Marx Alex Cota informed VGC back in 2022 about the game. Hex will provide a different experience in terms of game and game structure that will eventually come out as we reveal more. Based on the trailer, it appears to have a horror vibe. According to a rumor from Bloomberg, the game is, quote, set during the later stages of the Holy Roman Empire, and it revolves around witch trials. Oh boy, those Christians... Going to be painted very poorly. The game is being developed by Ubisoft Montreal with Clinto Hawking as the creative director. It's quite likely that Ubisoft is following in Atlas's footsteps. Ugh. And we'll be delving into a variety of different genres. Atlas found massive success with Persona 5 and has spun a number of different titles out of the main title, including Persona 5 Striker, Persona 5 Tactica. Strikers took the franchise to the Muso genre, playing similar to games like Dynasty Warriors. Oh, I like that. While Tactica was more of a strategy role-playing game in the vein of Final Fantasy Taxes. Final Fantasy Taxes. Final Fantasy Tactics. Taxes. Still thinking about that debate on how there was a live assassination that took place. That being Trump completely owning Biden. Of course, the media says, wasn't really a good thing on either or sides. It's like, one side was really, really bad compared to the other one. And damn sheep. Ubisoft is one of the wokest video game developers out there. Ooh. That Park Place, driving that knife in deep. The company has an entire section of their website titled Diversity, Inclusion, and Accessibility. Underneath the section, the company's VP of Global Diversity and Inclusion, Rashi Sika, writes, to create a video game, Ubisoft's team around the world worked together to push the boundaries of what's been done before and build an unforgettable experience for players. Journey from concept to launch requires collaboration, passion, and commitment. We learn as we go, trying and failing and trying again before we get it right. Well, you're certainly not getting it right with Shadows. Which did you guys? I think I heard that Wikipedia locked. What was it? Wikipedia locked the Yasuke article tab, and they locked it when a bunch of sources, which literally just came from an own the same biased history information. Then they quoted Britannica, which, again, I read that article 2 times, pointing out that the word unknown was the word of the day of that article about who Yasuke was. To truly have an impact, we must... Oh, I think I already read that. Oh, wait a minute. No, I didn't. The same creative growth mindset and dedication. For some reason, I thought that was de-education. And I was like, well, they're de-educating people, all right. Dedication form the foundation of our approach to diversity and inclusion. No, methinks you just focus on that and then try to fist it in the game. Once again, showing that it's always the ideology first and the video game second with these people. Trump bent Joe over and spanked Joe like the little kid Joe wants to smell. Oof, very true. I will not lie, though. Like, I generally felt sad for Biden, despite how disgusting of a person he is, and probably is involved with the occult stuff that takes place with that group of people. I generally felt sad when he had that mind blank. I laughed hard as hell, but like generally sad. That was not good. That was terrible. Quite disgusting to be using that old man, by the way. Even though he himself is just as disgusting. To truly have an impact, we must leverage innovative ideas and diverse perspectives to continue building a company and an industry that is welcoming to all. Okay, then how about you listen to the majority of the people? And you'll learn that the majority of the people go, just make a good game. But you go, nope, we got to cater to this specific group of people. Our vision of diversity and inclusion is multidimensional. No, it's actually single dimensional. All you did was get mad because there's already a bunch of white people as main characters. We need to bring more representation. Blah, 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 blah. Very single-minded, very hive-minded. That's why we've designed a strategy centered around 4 pillars. Oh, like the pillars that, Islam goes to when they journey, when they go on the journey to Mecca? Got to throw rocks at them, if I remember right. Colleagues, culture, content, and community. For Ubisoft, putting diversity and inclusion at the heart of everything. Well, there's why you're failing. Putting diversity and inclusion at the heart of everything. You know what it should be? Replace the words diversity and inclusion and say putting a great story for a great video game story at the heart of everything we do means providing an environment where employees can thrive, building open-minded communities where players can connect and create games that create the diversity of the world we live in. So, completely abandoning entertainment. That is a terrible quote. People go into entertainment to get away from the world. We will not accomplish all these goals overnight. You probably won't accomplish it at all, especially when the good Lord comes back. And he starts slanging and banging, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about like pouring out his wrath. Just as it takes years of iteration to develop a AAA title, we will only become a more diverse and inclusive company by continually improving, trying new ideas, and learning from the results. Well, apparently you don't listen to the results because you guys saw the backlash in Assassin's Creed Shadows. And you're like, oh, fuck it, we don't care. It's a long-term commitment, one that will tackle with the same passions and dedications that we bring to our games, she concluded. In fact, their, quote, colleagues section indicates that they hire people based on race. Well, that's racist. We want to build the most creative, inclusive, and diverse teams across all fields. We will continue to increase representation in our company by building more inclusion across our system and ensure equal access to opportunities for everyone. Do they not see on like how terribly racist is this? First and foremost, you're saying that whoever you're hiring is unable to do it because they're inferior, so therefore you have to give them a handout. Very disgusting. And number 2, you're just focusing on their race, which is literally racism in its purest and like rawest form. Just because you're doing this for the sake of inclusion and stuff doesn't change the fact that you're being racist about it. Like the projection from these people are unreal. And then they'll turn around and say, well, you're the one projecting. And it's like, nah, not really, because I hire people, or I would hire people based on their merit if I had a company. Or I would hire people based on the passion that they have for gaming. Not because it's like, oh, don't have enough black people in here. I guarantee you they probably actually internally look at their team and like looking to see just how many persons of color, are in there. It's like, oh, we don't have enough of these people. Just like, wow. Disgusting. There's nothing wrong with helping people, but when you just straight up give handouts, they don't learn anything. Give a man what is it? A fish? A fish? What, the saying, give a man a fish, feed a man for a day, teach a man a fish, feed him for a lifetime. Not surprising, and also eschews any idea of certain societies and cultures being objectively better than others under its culture section. It reads, we keep fostering a culture of inclusion where our team feel seen, heard, and valued. To support this, we will empower global and local employee resource groups, drinking soda. Got a bad case of bubble gut. Just kidding. I should get that clip. Got hot snakes, you guys. To support global teams as they develop their understanding of inclusion and strengthening belonging for all. So furthermore, an internal document leaked by the Quartering, we've read this before in other articles, showcases that, what they're saying. First, we want to make it very clear that we do not accept hate, harassment, and other forms of abuse in any way, and we are deeply saddened to see the negativity and hatred currently spread on our coworkers' personal profiles and on our and our partners' social media platforms. You're semi-public figures. Get used to it. This is how you learn what people want, is the feedback you get. Are some people really douchey and just are doing insults? Yes, that's always going to happen. Get used to it. But these people can't even take positive criticism or constructive criticism, I should say. It continues, we are proud to represent the diversity and inclusion that exists in society. See, it just feels like I'm reading the same damn thing over and over and over. Representation is part of our DNA and will remain that way regardless of external pressure and influence. So you insult the entire Japanese community by saying, when it comes to representing Japan in an Assassin's Creed universe, you know what we need as the main person? A black dude. Shouldn't it be a Japanese male? And then you can still have your ninja female? You're just mad because he's a historical figure. Well, that doesn't matter. The point is the dude's not Japanese. That's the problem. Every other game, you made a main character who was literally the norm of people during that time. Yasuke was not of the norm. The fools.
This guy must be a fag.
They're all fags. All right, but yeah, and then the article ends literally reiterating the same thing up here. What do you make of Guillemont's comments? Gay as hell. That's what I make of it. But if I want to, enough joking around aside, it's dead on arrival because you said you have to modernize it for modern audiences. And the question is, what are you exactly going to do? Probably de-beautify, I guess, or uglify, whatever. Defeminize. There we go. You're gonna probably defeminize the women, make everybody, you know, that weird female with male, you know, attributes and stuff. Very well could change the main character altogether. Get rid of, I don't know, problematic stuff that was in the past. It's been a long time since I played the Assassin's Creed games. That's what they're going to do. And we've seen it before, and it's only going to keep happening. But we are pushing back, and we are getting a lot of people. Oh my goodness. The Otaku Paradise. Why did this not show on the Rumble live chat donations? They need to work to get super chats and stuff in here. But the Otaku Paradise with a blueberry super chat.
Blueberry cheese brownie!
Actually, I probably should.
Blueberry cheese brownie!
With a blueberry cheese browning. I got your bending feet covered here. You go. I got your bedding feet covered here. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I was really hoping the live chat combined. It combines all the chats together, but I guess it doesn't combine super chats. So that's why I'm constantly looking over. So thank you again, you Otaku Paradise. But we have one more. Oops. Did not mean to click that. We have one more article here, and it possibly could end on a good note. Konami producer says it would be the dream for Kojima to return to Metal Gear. I think that would be nice, just because it was his baby. His baby. Oh, I forgot to warm up again. What makes Taco Paradise says, what makes me irritable about these type of inclusion bullcrap is the fact that they don't care about my people, which is blind people. Blind people get the shaft harder than any other type of people. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. My people get oppressed too. Me being a ginger, of course. I mean, all our roles get taken away and get given to black people. You know, Ariel, April O'Neil. Ugh, the oppression. It hurts. It hurts me. So Konami's Metal Gear series producer has said it would be the dream for the company to work with Hideo Kojima and the other original development staff again. Noriaki Okamura made the comments during a Japanese live stream on Friday with the caveat that he wasn't assuming Kojima and his former colleagues would necessarily feel the same way. Kojima split from Konami 2015 following a mysterious falling out following the conclusion of Metal Gear Solid 5. While Kojima still regularly talks about Metal Gear, he no longer has any control over the property, which sucks. However, it would appear the tensions between the pair may have cooled in the years since. Asked if there was any chance of original staff members working on Metal Gear again. Did Metal Gear, what was it, Online ever do well? I remember like that was the big one, and no one really cared about it, at least from what I saw. Then you had Metal Gear Revengeance. Or was it Metal Gear Rising Revengeance? The one with... oh my gosh. Raiden. Or is it Raiden? Raiden. This isn't good. This is not good. This is what happens when your mind is just constantly wandering and you're just like, wait a minute, what am I trying to say? Konami Konami producer Okimura replied, "It's not my place to answer on behalf of anyone outside the company or to guess how they might feel about it." Those damn Yakuzas. But just speaking for myself personally, I'd like nothing better than to work with Mr. Kojima and the rest of the team again. Probably Kojima-san. If that could happen, it would be the dream. But people have moved on to new things and new commitments, so that's just our current reality. We can't just take for granted that everyone would work with us again or let ourselves be completely dependent on them. He added, "I just don't think it's right for us to be the ones to make that kind of demand of anyone. So we're working with the expectation that whatever we make, it's up to us and it's on our shoulders to do a good job." According to Okamura, many staff from the original Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater development team are already working on the upcoming remake. Nice. Okay, that's nice to know. The main external developer working on the game is Virtuos, I guess. Okamura himself was a producer for many Metal Gear spin-off games, including Metal Gear Acid 2, Metal Gear Solid Detailed Graphic Novel, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops Plus, and Metal Gear Survive. I think it was Metal Gear Survive that I was thinking of. In Friday's live stream, the producer went on to claim that, like with the recent Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, Kojima and the original staff will be credited in the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 3 remake in some form. Since we had a lot of questions about this, Mr. Kojima and all the original developer staff are, of course, credited for the original roles, he said. They were already included in the Master Collection. They'll be listed in Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater as well. They're a part of these games, too, so absolutely they're in. So Konami has previously stated that Kojima is not involved in the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. The game designer currently has a full schedule with Death Stranding 2. I actually still need to beat Death Stranding. Xbox game OD, a new IP with PlayStation, and a Death Stranding movie, all in the works. Very nice. I'm actually looking forward to Metal Gear Solid. I'm really hoping they don't mess anything up. I still don't understand why they refuse to remake Metal Gear Solid 1. That's what people have been asking. We got Twin Snakes, but Nintendo has that, and they're probably not going to let go of that at all. But man, I really wish we could get a Metal Gear Solid 1. That would be awesome. That's pretty much all I had for you guys. Let's see if there's anything else in here. Oh, yes. I said I wasn't really going to talk about the Dr. Disrespect anymore. But yes, he has been demonetized from YouTube. And supposedly Rolling Stone, even though it was from, I think, an anonymous source, confirmed that it was a minor, which I brought up in one of the past streams that someone else brought up, is that it wasn't specific about if the minor was a male or a female. I brought that up because I was noticing that they never specified like who it was. I'm just curious. In a statement made by Kotaku, fuck Kotaku. So he's no longer able to make money on his YouTube videos. Suspended channel from the YouTube. Now, think what you will about the guy. I personally think everyone involved is disgusting. I do have a problem with, again, this cancellation of, even though these are just allegations, he's banned from being able to monetize or even log into his YouTube, or maybe just can't use the YouTube Partner Program. That is bullshit. Regardless of what you think, people should be able to still say something, because he's gonna have hardcore followers regardless. But again, you have to think that if a leftist would do this, that would they be suspended too? Probably not. But like I said, I'm pretty much done talking about the Dr. Disrespect stuff because I really don't give a crap anymore. Yeah, this is pretty much just Midnight Society cut ties, YouTube cut ties. Turtle Beach ended its partnership. Oh, didn't a football team, the 49ers or something, ended it? We may say screw Kotaku, but here on the Otaku Paradise, we appreciate you, Powercat Greg. Get away from me. Dude, I hate these gnats. It's that time in Texas again where like the degree it's like 100 degrees plus, and these stupid annoying little gnats come out because it's all humid and sweaty, and they creep into the like when you open the door. Anyway, the Kotaku Paradise says we may say screw Kotaku, but here at the Otaku Paradise, we appreciate your power cut, Greg, and would love to have you as a guest anytime. I say we when I mean it. Or I say we when I mean me. Yeah, hit me up on at my business email. It's on my X. It should be powercatgreg@gmail.com. I know, very professional, right? Using Gmail. But powercatgreg, all lowercase, all one word. And it's POWERKEGGREG@gmail.com. This is my point. Show the message of not leave the crap alone. Again, and the only other thing I saw was something with Rolling Stones confirming that it was indeed a female minor, supposedly, but it's from an anonymous source, and it's the Rolling Stones, so I take that with a grain of salt, because we all know how they work. But, I mean, we're on Video Game Chronicles here. Is there anything else? Wait, 27-year-old man admits canceling Nintendo Japan events by threatening to kill everyone for shitty games. This was 15 hours ago. Holy crap. We'll end the stream after we read this one. What the heck? I got you. We will be in touch. Nice. 27-year-old man admits canceling Nintendo Japan events by threatening to, quote, kill everyone for shitty games. Oh my gosh. Sounds like he watches too much Angry Video Game Nerd. The man says he was frustrated at losing the game, believed to be Splatoon 3. You're freaking out over Splatoon 3? The man suspected of being responsible for threats that led to the cancellation of Nintendo events in Japan has admitted the charges. 27-year-old Kenshin Kazama. Dude, his name's Kenshin? No. Did he threaten him with... Was he a wandering samurai? Is he a Ronin? Wandering the streets looking for ways to make up for his terrible bloody path and vowing never to kill again? Well, apparently not, because he just threatened to kill everyone. Oh, my goodness. They're trying to pull a Kyoto Animation situation. The sad thing is a lot of these people might deserve it. Hold up there. Another story to look at. Okay, so he stood trial this week and admitted that he made the threats. Kansai Television News reports. I sent the message because I was stressed by playing the game, Kazama reportedly explained. When I kept losing, I got frustrated. Dude, this is what I hate. It goes that you can't control your anger. So you have to lash it out on everybody. Like, you're mad at yourself, so beat yourself up. You know, if you're mad at someone, like, take it out with them, you know. But these people that just get mad and then they just on everybody and just ruin everybody's time. It's like, at least focus the energy in some way, shape, and form. Not so much not so much with threats, you know. Something better, like punch a punching bag or something. Or play a game that doesn't get you frustrated. Kazama was charged in April, accused of sending a total of 39 threats via the inquiry form on Nintendo's official website between August 22nd and November 29th last year. He was accused of saying, "I'll make you regret bringing such a shitty game into this world," threatening to kill everyone involved, and saying, "Be careful about events that have spectators in the audience." Dude, okay. You bitch. Although it wasn't clear what game he was referring to, it's believed to be Splatoon 3, since some of the threats were aimed at the Splatoon Koshien 2023 National Finals. The threats led to the cancellation of the Splatoon Finals in Nintendo Live 2024, which were set to take place in Tokyo in December 2023 and January 2024, respectively. The prosecutor in this case said the total damage caused by his threats totaled around 700 million yen, which is $4.36 million, saying the consequences are serious. There are no extenuating circumstances for his childish behavior. Prosecution had asked for Kazama to be sentenced to 1 year in prison and that it will take place on July 24th. Damn. True threats don't work. You know, as twisted as this logic is, like sometimes it's just like... But again, he's just mad at the game, so he's lashing out at everyone. If he was mad at someone else, it'd be like, in a very weird way, like at least take it up with the person, Not saying like threaten them or anything like that, but the world has gotten to the point where you're mad at something, just lash out on everyone. Wow, games aren't that serious, but especially Splatoon 3, someone quoted. Yeah, exactly. You guys see me get salty at games. At the end of the day, when I'm done playing the game, that's it. Well, there you go. Probably should have done some Serenity now. Alrighty, but that is all that I have for you guys today. So thanks to everyone who hung out with me for all the super chats. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to punch that thumbs up and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live. We were on Rumble, YouTube, X, Kick, and my locals, which you can find on Rumble, and you could possibly support me there if you so desire. I'm trying to utilize locals more. I'm very bad at it. There's also membership and subscription tiers. That is if you want to go beyond just helping pushing the algorithm. I'm humbled and blessed in any support or any, just hanging out with me. Very, very humbled that you guys hang out with me. But anywho... that is it for tonight. Let us see. Do we have anybody on? Anybody that we can redirect to? Tomorrow arcade games. Tomorrow I'm thinking probably more Mario Tennis or Onimusha. Yes, I lowered my personal best, and it's the world record for the X-Men arcade speedrun. Submitted it, and it got verified. Ooh. X-Ray Girl is live with Amanda. I like X-Ray Girl and Amanda, so we'll raid them on YouTube. And Alex is live on Rumble, so we'll raid her. I like Alex as well. Kabam. Good show. Thanks. Yep, just keep an eye out. Should be in the afternoon when I hop back online. So take care, you guys. God bless. And I'll catch you on the flip side.